And here we are, the dev live stream. Now, let's preference this with what I talked about before I even get into it, and I've been spoiled a little bit, but as I said, there is nothing, like quite literally, there is nothing that developers could have done in this live stream that we're about to watch that would not look like some kind of failure, right? Because ultimately they've dug themselves into just an enormous hole, and there's really no way to get out of it without just patheticness being involved, right? Because if they go back on everything they've done, then you basically have months and months of time wasted. And if they push it through, they destroy the game. And if there's no right answers, right? So there's no way to snip their way out of this one. It's completely over. Oh, here they are. This is face cam.
Oh, hey everybody. Sorry, just reacting to the Shirtless Peanuts request in the chat. Hi, welcome to another DBD community live stream. We are here live.
Kind of low-key surprised they're even doing another one after the last one. All right, let's see what they have to say. Come on, get me to the meat.
Queue a bit because the killers were having a fairly long.
Okay.
But also us included. Want more focus on bugs. That's kind of a through line through everything right now that we're hearing, and totally feel you on that.
I'm not sure.
To note, we looked at the bug count, the bug fix count. That's coming in the release next week, and it's almost double what was on the PTB build, which is nice.
I actually think it was just slightly
Just
more
about,
than
yeah.
double.
So we're looking good there. Obviously, we have a lot of work to do. We're not pretending we don't, but I just wanted to mention that. So, Mandy,
Yeah.
2v8?
It is Mandy.
Okay, so as you guys know, 2v8 has just been extended, so that's going to be extended
Yay!
until the 25th, 10 a.m. So you can expect a release at 11 a.m. and 2v8 will finish an hour before. So we've increased the incentives in the 1v4 queue, so to try and balance that queue a bit, because
Throw blood points at the problem, guys. That always fixes everything.
We also did a survey, and that's what led us to make the decision to extend.
I never saw that survey, by the way, to increase the, like, to extend 2v8 again. So I made up a lie on Twitter that it got extended before it got extended, and then Grok thought it was real, and yeah, I think it may have caused some issues.
Survey, I've got numbers. I wrote them down. So above 70% of people wanted the 2v8 to be.
So those 70% of people, by the way, they're not the real like old school like loyal player base to the game. I really don't think they are. I think that that 70% she just referenced is like this new audience that they're trying to push into DVD. Like they want to replace us, the old people, because we're annoying. We want a balanced game. We want things to be, fair. We're annoying. They want people that don't think about anything, get on the game, buy a skin or two, sniff some glue, have fun, get off. That's it. And if they have that community, the Fortnite community, then they don't have to put so much goddamn effort in, and they could just focus on money juicing, right? So I see why they want to get rid of us. Resubscribed with Prime. They've been subscribed for 6 months. Much appreciated, Alex. For Prime for my suffering. Appreciate it. So yeah, that's what I think. It's this constant like pushing of the old community out of the door. Like, you're no longer needed here. You and Alamo and everybody else from that generation, just fuck off. Like, we don't want you anymore.
Extended. So it was a lot of people who completed the survey that want that extended. So,
but it's not a long extension, as you mentioned.
It's not. It's over the weekend.
Right up till the release next week.
Yeah, that's Mandy.
And we're doing some testing on the incentives. Let's see how that works out. See how that helps the queue, because obviously
this was a shit live stream.
The core queue as well as the event queue, and we're looking at both things. So it's not like we're just looking at one or the other.
Cool.
So we'll let you know more about that as soon as we've got it for the next iterations.
Fantastic. Also coming up, and again, I mentioned this isn't a big reveal stream. We got no flashy assets to show you, but we did want you to mark your calendar. Bone Chill returns as it does each year. So this year is no exception. Bone Chill is returning quite
It's going to
soon
be
as
like
well.
the same exact event again.
It will
Bone
be
Chill.
before the next stream that we do, our December stream. So it's also right.
We have an update on Chandler. We'll get to that later.
Have a roadmap, a calendar for the month on December 1st. That's going to take you through all the things you can expect, including when Bone Chill drops. Currently scheduled right now for December 9th. So stay tuned and see what's happening.
Stay
there.
tuned. Classic gun
And
line.
then to finish off our news, tomorrow is kind of a big day in the DBD comp world, and we're going to be assisting by DBD League is going to be taking
Oh
over
my
our
glaze, can we get to the point? Leave Chandler alone. Leave him alone.
My time to shine. I have the clicker.
Yes, it's Jeff
You have the
time.
power.
Ultimate power.
It's not dude time, but it's Jeff time.
Yeah, no more
No
detail.
more dude time. I got requests.
I'm here in the middle.
We're gonna get another
I did wanna
PowerPoint
say- So I want
presentation.
to say something at the top of this segment. Because last show, I said a lot of things. Well, I said a lot of things, but I said the same thing a lot of times, that I really wanted people to test that PTB. People found that condescending, and it was not at all the intention. I talked about this on Twitter yesterday. Truly,
Okay.
I mean this. When I say, please test that, it's not, hey, go find bugs for us, because we're not able
No.
to, because now that's what
That's
people
not
are
what-
going to. It's really that without the feedback of our players getting hands-on, because we see your feedback before it's there, but
Now, here's the thing. Okay, he's saying that he felt like what he said was condescending. It was not condescending, bro. Nobody felt condescending. Okay, maybe one guy did on Twitter, I don't know. But like the vast majority of people did not feel that it was condescending. The issue with what you said, right, is that like, how do I put like make an analogy out of this? It's like you told somebody, hey, don't run across the freeway at midnight during rush like traffic because you might get hit by a car. It's like, you don't have to tell me that, dude. Like, you know what I mean? Like the issue with what you said about the PTB was that everybody who's ever played the game before knew that those changes were terrible before it didn't even take like 30 seconds of consideration. Instantly, we knew those changes were terrible. So we didn't need to test them, you know? We don't need to test running across the freeway at midnight in darkness. But yeah, like that was the issue with what he said. Not that anybody thought we want the community to go bug test for us. The community is going to do that anyway. They don't care. It's just that he's like, the PTB is for testing, test things. We don't need to. That's the issue, is that the whole thing is just stupid from the top to the bottom. We don't need to test it. It's a waste of developer resources, and it's just like really frustrating. I mean, why should we even bother when there's a perfect game as fun as Arc Raiders? It's been 10 years and they still have no idea what they're doing. It's crazy because not only does it feel like they don't know what they're doing, but they're actively like moving in like the wrong direction at all times. I think we gotta, yep, some behind the scenes footage here leaked. Anyway,
with your hands on, that's where our team, the community team, can be best equipped to talk to the various internal teams when we make decisions about what goes live in the game. So I'm really sorry if it came across as condescending. I truly didn't mean it that way. I'm a big believer in PTBs or PTS, depending on the type of game you play, to inform the changes that actually go live to the game. And I know there's a track record that people have pulled on.
Just to say, other dev teams as big as Behavior, a lot of other dev teams, what they do is they'll have a, like, you know, their PTBs for their balance changes and their new characters and stuff to try to get the balance really good, right? But simultaneously, apart from the PTB, they will have, usually even on the live version of the game, like an experimental playlist. And in that experimental playlist, the devs can test out all of their different ideas for balance and different design things and stuff they want to play around with without it ever impacting the actual game whatsoever. So like if they wanted to do all of this, what they've done here in a way that's going to be way less judgmental and way less detrimental to the overall game, all they would have needed to do is make an experimental playlist that you could go into on the live version of the game so you could play it on every platform, right? And then people could just test it out in an area where they could like kind of judge it unbiasedly, right? Because like right now, even though all this stuff I agree is terrible, but like these are the changes that are coming to the game, so we have to judge them very harshly and we have to look at them very critically. If it was in like an experimental playlist, we could maybe play around with it a little bit more and see if, hey, maybe a part of this isn't as bad as we thought. But like the way they're doing it here, it's lazy and it's just an enormous waste of resources, like disgusting waste.
Like, well, but you've done this in the past, and I totally get it. But I just wanted to say that up front, because to me, even if you ever meet me in person, it's probably the first thing I'll tell you about is I'm such a believer in PTB as a tool for us.
That's the first thing you'll tell me in person is that you're a huge believer in PTBs.
Best it can possibly be. So
before you say hi or anything, just I'm a huge believer in PTBs.
that's my moment of addressing that at the top of the show. And now I'll hand it over to Jeff to actually tell you what you want to hear.
I mean, to be fair, I think it's a good point because, you know, as I always remind people, we don't make the game for ourselves, we make it for the players, and ultimately if the players don't like the game, that's not great. So PTB testing is amazing. All right, so today I have some PowerPoint slides. I don't know if we'll show them all because it's mostly just text. There aren't really any visuals today. I don't have any little drawings of Skull Merchant or anything like that. But I do have some important.
PTB seems like a toxic ex lately.
PTB to live. What's next? The burning question.
What's going to live from the PTB?
Like radio silent for a couple of days/weeks.
Yeah.
So here's the big reveal. So the camping reduction.
Camping reduction is coming to live. So they've already, before we get into anything else, they've already juiced in just a little bit, right? They've already juiced in just a little bit of pepper spiced right on in. The camping reduction too, in my opinion, was one of the more egregiously problematic things they were going to add. So that's pretty upsetting, honestly. But I'll let him continue. I have not seen Scott's video now.
Is going live with some small adjustments, and I'll go over that in the next slide. The slugging reduction is not going live.
Okay, so no slugging reduction, which is good because it wasn't a real problem. It was like, even when they showed the numbers, it was clearly a fake problem. You can already abandon if you're slugged for, what is it, like 80 seconds now or something. You could just leave if you're bored. What else? Like, there was no reason to put it in. All it did was hurt poor Harambe, who doesn't deserve to be hurt. And now we can still slug to win all of our matches, so we don't have to worry. So actually, we'll be good then, huh? Slugging is still gonna, yeah, of course it's gonna be the best. What's up, Metalhead? Hope everything's going nice and well. I can't believe they delayed a huge chapter just to then waste dev time and come out of it more confused than we were all before with barely any bugs fixed. Yep, they are really, really incompetent. Slugging is fun for the whole family.
Live, and the tunneling reduction is
nothing from the tunneling reductions going live. That's actually kind of surprising, honestly. Nothing? I mean, I know they made up the numbers about tunneling. They said like 50% of matches were tunneling or some bullshit, which was a complete lie. But I'm kind of low-key surprised they didn't do anything with tunneling. I hope this means they're done with this bullshit, right? And that they're not going to attempt something else.
live. So camping.
And actually, if I can jump in before, we're going to get to pallets in a second as well. That wasn't actually part of the PTB changes. It was already live, but we're going to address that in a minute too. So hang on.
Yeah, the pallet density. Yeah, it's been a hot topic.
Yep.
I'm glad they've been informed about the pallet density.
So for camping, survivors will still see each other's resolve bars when they are hooked.
That's going to hurt hooks a lot. because it's going to allow survivors to min-max even more. Like good survivors are going to take advantage of that, like public resolve bar by they're going to do this like yo-yo strategy, right? Where, okay, let's say the killer has a 3-gen and he hooks somebody right in the middle of the 3 gens, and all the gens are regressing now, and he can camp the hook at the same time, but he's trying not to get too close to the hook because the game is stupid and it'll punish him, and the survivor will be able to unhook themselves and he'll lose all of that pressure, right? So now he's kind of like going around the gens and the survivors are hovering around. So what they're going to do, if they're decent, is they're going to go towards the hook, right? The killer's going to come into proxy because that's 100% the best play in that position, and it's 100% the survivor's fault that they went down inside of a 3-gen as well. So it's not like the killer was just being cringed. That's the survivor's fault. So now the survivor's going to be going in. They're going to see how the killer is starting to proxy. I'm going to back away and I'm going to watch that resolve bar fill. And if they can manage it, they're either going to allow the survivor to unhook themselves because of this, or they're going to see, okay, the resolve bar is not going to fill in time, I need to go in and trade or something, right? But like this just gives an insane amount of information to the survivors, like something that even a Swift will definitely be able to take or get value out of. You know, they could obviously do it on comms too, but this is going to make it even more pixel perfect and easier for them to do.
So that was very liked across the board, so that's going live. The resolve bar fills up faster the longer the
oh my god, it still fills up faster. Oh my god.
However, we are reverting the range increase. So on the PTB it was increased to 20 meters. We're bringing it back down to 16 meters. There was some concerns raised by a lot of you that it would be unfair.
How, like, do they not see that doing this just continues to make slugging the best solution to win your matches? Like every update, it's just slugging is the better option. It's just always the better option. Why are you hooking? You're just fucking yourself. Like quite literally, you're fucking yourself. Like, I don't know. You could do other strategies, like you could like hook one survivor or hook maybe 2 survivors, but there's no reason to ever hook more than 2 survivors. There's just no reason.
Fair to the killer in some situations, so we're just bringing it back to what it was before. So why not the rest? So slugging and tunneling. So after a second round of testing, we found that the features did not meet the minimum positive impact that we hoped they would have.
The minimum positive impact.
Frankly, and
that's such a data thing to say.
A lot of negative feedback about it, and it's very hard to justify moving forward with something in the live game when the feedback is negative that badly. So that's why it's not going live.
You slug because you want to win. I slug because I'm an asshole. We're not the same. Okay.
So what's next? There's 3 things I think I want to mention. So we understand that tunneling is still a frustrating situation to be in. So one thing that we will try is to increase the base kit endurance and haste to 15 seconds. So it's 5 seconds longer than what's on live right now. And we will be reviewing how MMR is calculated. So we think that by making adjustments there, we could see a reduction in those types of strategies.
We will be reviewing how MMR is calculated, including win conditions, and we believe this will have an impact on these strategies, which means will require less drastic changes. Man, can you imagine? Like, okay, so like the devs are really, really bad at their job, right? They really don't understand their game at all. Now, there's 2 things they could mean by this, and one of them is absolutely fucking like catastrophic. I'm not joking. Catastrophic. Okay, so the first thing they could mean is that we're going to make it to where survivors get basically a win if they pip, right? Or if they pip or 2-pip or whatever. And then their MMR goes up because they played well enough, and their MMR should go up. And that's the new win condition. That would actually be really good, because now you're going to be getting better quality solo queue teammates and stuff, because it's not going to be about just who got their cheeks out of the exit gate, and it's going to be about how that exit gate got powered in the first place, which is really important, and they really should do that. That would be good. Now let's talk about what this could also potentially mean, and kind of sounds like it means, which is terrifying. They say we will be reviewing how MMR is calculated, including win conditions, and we believe this will have an impact on these strategies, meaning it's going to change how the killer plays the game because the killer's the one who's tunneling, right? If they make it to where kills don't equal MMR anymore, and instead MMR is calculated by how many hooks you get or unique hooks you get, the only outcome of that would be that the sweaty ass super full poopy diaper killer players like myself, our MMR would start to drop because I can't play for hooks anyway. Right? Because it's like the gens go too fast. So I'm gonna be slugging. My MMR is gonna fucking drop. I'm gonna be playing against bigger glue sniffers. The people that are going for unique hooks would unironically start to get even harder matches to where it would be like impossible for them to get to unique hooks, which would like, I think that would quite literally break the matchmaking entirely. So if that's what they're thinking about doing, if that's the strategy, which it really kind of sounds like that's their strategy, then yeah, the glue level here is off the charts because they would destroy the matchmaking of the game. All right, let's continue.
Which means we'll require less drastic changes in terms of like the base game itself. And then the last thing on this topic is that we have started the process of looking at how to improve the first-time user experience. So how new players are onboarded into the game and the things that we teach them and show them and all those things. It's
so a new tutorial, basically.
There's no ETA. There'll be more details in the future. I can't tell you when, but we have started looking at it, so it's very exciting.
Slugging killers get less MMR, so would stay at lower MMR for longer. No, not only would they stay at lower MMR, but like their MMR would actively continuously drop because they weren't getting any hooks. So like you would just be playing against worse and worse survivors, and you'd be using the best strategy in the game to destroy them. Then you would have a real slugging problem on your hands. If they really go, if that's their, that's what it sounds like. I could be wrong, but that's 100% what that sounds like to me. Not that we'll ever know. They don't give us any information really about MMR, but if they try to do that behind the scenes, I'm sure we'll notice very quickly.
Next, there were some perk changes that happened with this update. So Babysitter is being reverted to its current live iteration where it, sorry, brain fart.
Yeah, we get it.
I can't even read because it's so small. 10% haste for 30 live version. Same thing goes for borrowed time.
Borrowed time,
version that a lot of you really like, which is that it gives you undetectable and haste when you hook the obsession, sorry. And Off the Record is going to a previous version that we had where you did get endurance, but it was for a shorter amount of time. And the reason why is I think that we can all agree that 80 seconds of endurance is very long and very powerful, so we're cutting it by half. So you'll still get...
Okay, so they reverted basically all of the perk changes, right?
For hotfix 1, we will revert Breakdown and Wicked. So they'll go back to their current live version. It's
so yeah, they're reverting every single perk change
for the release, and those two felt like they were a little bit less urgent. And however, I think we will mention... Do we want to mention for Wicked?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Wicked, because we have heard the concerns that it stacks very well with Resurgence, we will be kill switching it to make sure that it can't be abused.
No, just kill switch Resurgence, guys. So don't worry about it. Leave Wicked in the game and kill switch Resurgence.
Oh, hotfix 2.
Yes, because of to make sure that switch is going to.
Okay, so far they have reverted everything in the PTB, just so I'm not misunderstanding this. They reverted absolutely everything in the PTB, except the fact that you see your teammates' resolve meters when they're on hook, so you can see the self unhook progress. And they added an additional 5 seconds of endurance and haste when getting unhooked, correct? Everything else has been reverted. All just a complete waste of time.
I have a problem.
Okay, sorry, so not for hotfix 1, for hotfix 2. Next point is, what about killers? So we did have some changes in the killers in the PTB for some killers. The first one was Skull Merchant. So the Skull Merchant changes are going live, but There's a but, and I think this but will make people happy, and not that kind of but.
No, I didn't say anything for once.
You were thinking it though.
I was thinking, don't tell them I'm thinking that.
Everyone knows Mandy. So the but is, we will decouple her undetectable from deploying drones to recalling drones in the hotfix 1 patch.
Wait, what? Her undetectable will be decoupled from deploying drones to recalling drones in one of the hotfix patches and will revert the undetectable duration nerf. What? What? Why? I told you guys. I fucking told you they're coming for undetectable. That's a huge nerf. I think that's a huge nerf personally. Some people might disagree, but so basically now, instead of getting undetectable when she deploys a drone, she's going to get undetectable when she removes a drone. I feel like that's going to be way less useful, especially for early game, which is arguably the most important part of the trial. You're going to be constantly pulling your drones away and constantly spamming them to try to get that undetectable. It's just going to be way more annoying. What a weird nerf. I know they hate undetectable, man, because it's the strongest thing in the entire game. It's the only thing that really stops you from getting shift W'd and stuff. Like undetectable and like mindbreaker were like the only two like things you could kind of use in this game to counter shift W. Mindbreaker is dead for all of eternity probably, and now they're coming for like undetectable slowly probably, I would imagine. That's gonna be really annoying. Like that makes me not want to play Skull Merchant at all. You're basically just going to spam your drones everywhere and constantly recall them just so you get undetectable, I would think.
And at the same time, we will revert the undetectable duration nerf that we did in the PTB. So that's something that's coming up in not the release next week, the hotfix after. Next is the Cenobite. So the base kit nerf is being reverted. But his add-on Original Pain is not. So the too long didn't read is you'll be able to bind survivors with controlled chains, even if they have endurance.
Okay, so the problem here is fine, rework Original Pain if you think it's too strong for tunneling, but like, can you at least fucking make it do something different from the other add-on that already does the same exact thing as what they're changing Original Pain to? There is another purple add-on, I think it's the Lens, where when you hit a survivor with the chain, you see their aura for like 6 to 8 seconds. Why are we putting in another purple add-on that does the literal exact same thing? It's the exact same add-on. They just didn't know that there was an add-on that already did that. 100% that's what happened. They just didn't know there was another add-on that did that. It was so just, they didn't even put 1 ounce of effort into it, man. Not even 1 ounce of effort. They're just like, oh, let's just do that. That sounds like a good idea, without considering that it's already in there. So mind-boggling. It's embarrassing. Like, I have secondhand embarrassment for him on that one. Like, just holy shit, you literally don't know anything about your own game.
Because on the PTB, you couldn't do that. So that's been reverted to the live behavior that we can expect. And then finally, the last hot topic is what about medkits? So there were 2 medkit add-ons that got changes on the PTB. So we will be keeping a close eye on these add-on changes once they hit live, just so that we have the broader community at large to get feedback from. And then we'll see what kind of adjustments we need to make there at that point.
So they made the syringe go from being an instant heal to a thing that immediately gives you your exhaustion back, right? Which is essentially the same thing. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's essentially the same thing. If you're in a situation where like you're in a dead zone, you just pop your instant heal and then you sprint and burst out of it, right? So it's basically the same thing. It's a get out of jail free card, effectively. Is it worse than an actual instant heal? Probably. I mean, the instant heal, how do you get at something stronger than that in the game? You could literally work on a generator injured while healing yourself in the background. Like, the instant heal was like by far the most broken thing they ever had. Unironically, could have still existed if the game had a currency system, because you could have just made it expensive and then it wouldn't have mattered at all anymore. But with no currency system, and it, like, yeah, obviously it's too strong. And then when it comes to the styptic, just making you heal faster, really boring, but like, and like, it's just like, yeah, borrowed time in a bottle, super annoying to play against, 100% annoying to play against, but you can't deny that it in some ways made the game more interesting, right? Like, again, this is really why I would like the currency system, because it's very strong, but now it's too strong to be allowed to exist. So now we're just going to dumb it down so that it's nothing but just healing faster as a percentage, which is fucking boring as shit and is still kind of strong anyway, but just boring as shit, bro. Like, how fucking much are we going to gut out of this game in pursuit of balance when they could just put in a currency system? It's so annoying. Honestly, it's just so annoying. Like, when will the community like just accept that that's the best fucking option for the game? How much do we have to lose? Like, genuinely, like, what is this game gonna look like in a few years after they just continuously just homogenize everything? Do we need every killer in the game to be a dash slop killer? Do we need items to not do anything anymore? Like, do we need perks to all just be percentage changes and have actually no overall effects? Like, how much are we gonna just dumb down the game and make it boring as shit in pursuit of balance when we could have just put in a currency system and then all these things would have been allowed to exist and it wouldn't have been a problem? It's so frustrating to me. I don't think I can really explain how much it fucking annoys me at this point, because it's just over and over and over and over again.
I think
Next one is.
Can you click?
Okay.
I've got a laptop on the
Sorry,
I
I'm
can't
clicking.
click as well.
I clicked.
Okay, so Waterhaven lighting. That was another major topic of the PTB. And as you'll see
So
from
ugly.
the video, there are some changes that we've made. Thank you so much for the feedback about this, by the way. You helped the team identify exactly what they needed to change. And as you will see,
Get rid of the green diarrhea filter?
because I'm colorblind, it's more green. Everybody is telling me this is more green. It's lost
is.
the yellow color, and I'm being really careful with what I describe that
Oh,
as.
you mean the piss filter?
I knew you would go there. I'm
That's
a
what
lady.
players lovingly call it.
I'm a lady. I'm not gonna say it. So yeah, so that is going to be the green color. So there's still going to be a bit more fog, but it is looking.
I'm confused. Is this what it looked
honestly,
like, or is this
playing
is
on
what they're
that,
gonna make it
was
look
really
like?
good.
Because this looks kind of ugly too.
So the piss filter is gone.
That's a diarrhea filter, I guess.
Oh my God. Actually, before we get to, we told you we'd get to the pallet density stuff, but I want, if you could humor me for a second. I meant to do this at the top. I'm very interested because, you know, survivors and killers are always at each other's throats in the game, in the community, in
Yeah.
the chat. If you're a killer, main, hit K in chat. And if you're a survivor main, hit S in chat. If you play both, hit me with a B. I'm just super interested to see what our chat right now consists of. I'm just
I think it's gonna be mostly B's, probably.
Great. Thank you for letting me orchestrate this madness.
I love the first time chatters coming in.
Look at that.
Oh, sorry, you can see as well.
Nobody cares.
Super interesting.
A lot of B.
And you can continue to do that. We're going to talk about the pallet density changes now, but I just thought that was interesting, I think, for everyone to be able to look at each other and see who does what and
Yeah.
get a sense for roles in the game. I know that if you're one or the other, it's your life, and the other person, sometimes we don't see their point of view, and, you know, I'm not going to be able to make everyone do that, but I would love if people could be more civil with each other about their
Never.
chosen roles.
And understand that, you know.
Guys, it's like the devs not realize how much they incite the us versus them bullshit in the game. Like, like we wish you guys could be more civil towards each other. Like, stop pouring so much fuel on the fire, then, man. Like, you say stuff like people who slug are evil and shit. Like, what do you think you're doing? You're just gonna piss everybody off. Or when you're a good killer, you get a golden star for a hook. Like, okay, like, can you just stop? Like, you're literally playing right into the bullshit.
Understand the other side.
Exactly.
There's a human being on the other side of that game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
Pallets.
Density. Okay, so this has been a big one. As you know, there was the changes that were made. These were not PTB. These were made in the last release. And
Never in a
we've done
PTB, I don't
lot
think,
of
right?
Discussion with you on the forums and Reddit, and thank you so much for all the detailed feedback, the screenshots, everything that you've provided. That has really, really helped. We're not doing a full revert of the pallet density. We've identified specific areas. So some really strong God loops, Asylum, we're looking at you because that one was a big one.
Do they even understand what God pallets are?
That got created.
I honestly didn't even know they knew what that meant yet.
Those are going to be much weaker. Back to about a better standard.
Does this mean they'll get rid of the God pallets on the game? Surely that's what it means,
reduce
right?
the strength of chainable loops.
No chance.
So making sure that you can't chain a loop straight.
Literally revolting that they're talking about us versus them the very next stream after suggesting slugging is only done by toxic killers. Yeah, they straight up said that. They said there's evil bad slugging and good slugging. They want us to just forget that they said that and put it on us. Like, if you guys were only nicer to each other after like treating one side of the community like absolute dog shit and like making them like gaslighting the shit out of them. That's kind of crazy.
Straight from shack straight into a jungle gym where you've got a double pallet in the jungle gym, for example, so that we've taken out those specifically strong loops and randomized a lot of the tiles on Swamp and Asylum. Those ones in particular were multiple pallets spawning at a specific tiles and then leading into a strong window. So we have taken care of those. So again, this is going to go live on Tuesday. Please test it and let us know exactly your thoughts on it. And if you come to the forums, Reddit, anywhere to give us the feedback, if you can grab screenshots and press that escape button to just get the map tile, that is so helpful to our level design team to see exactly where
randomized doesn't mean removing pallets. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that.
Pull that up on their side and see where the problems are occurring.
And you already said it, but I'll say it again. I really thank you to everybody who helped us. So the community team.
You don't know why killer mains are saying they've won, they've gotten nothing? Bro, that's the DBD community in a nutshell. I pretty much could guarantee that I could go to Twitter right now and scroll through Twitter and every content creator, like, well, not every single one of them, but like the vast majority of every content creator would be saying some bullshit along the lines of like, oh my God, behavior, they listened to us. They listened to us, guys. They did it. This is a huge win. I'm glad the behavior is actually getting better at communicating with us. Like that's what the fucking community will say. And that's why this game is like, that's a huge reason this game is in the position it is, because the fucking like mainstream sort of content creator people and the Twitter people and the Reddit people, like they just fucking eat the glue, man. Like behavior serves them a big steaming dish of Elmer's and they just sniff it right up. It's so like they offered you shit. You said you didn't want the shit, so they took out a single peanut from that turd, gave it to you, and now you're celebrating that you don't have to eat shit. Like you still got to eat that peanut. What are you talking about? It just got they got like mathematically worse, even if it's just one peanut at a time, bro. Anyway.
My team, of which Mandy's on, here on the design team, put in a lot of work, putting threads together for every one of the maps, getting targeted feedback for each one. Where are the problematic pallets, et cetera, et cetera. So it was a good amount of work, and it was also a great amount of participation from the community in helping us get to what these changes are. So thanks to everyone involved. I'm happy with how that went.
The importance of feedback.
Feedback, we love it.
It really helps.
Cool. So that is our, yes. Looks like you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Yeah, Cenobite base kit is being reverted, so you'll be able to bind those survivors with endurance as you would previously.
Someone's also asking.
Field Agent Reaper call out.
At least one someone, it probably was more earlier. But what about the full rework of the Skull Merchant? You can remind them what we said before.
Yeah, so at this stage, we're going to make the changes in hotfix 1 and then approach it the same way that we did with this PTB and see if more changes are needed, and if yes, what kind of changes are needed. So it's not gone, we're just reassessing as we go.
Oh, Mindbreaker.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, Mindbreaker.
We'll be back.
Yeah.
On Tuesday. I'm seeing some questions about that in the chat.
I saw that too.
Yeah.
Good grab.
Keep going.
It was caps, so I saw it. I don't have my glasses on again. I've done it again.
Jeff's not done. We want to talk about the Grimoire with him as well. I don't recall, Dork, if
I don't think I care about the Grimoire
So-
guys. I'm not gonna lie. It's
Tess,
like in the end, it doesn't really matter, does it? Guys, you're gonna ruin the skins
Today is
anyway when they come to the game.
possibility of linking.
So there you have it. Basically, they could have summed this up in about 5 minutes, saying we're reverting everything except 2 little tiny minor things. Get fucked, and then they could have left. Why don't behavior simply employ Choi into the balance team? I think they'd rather see Dead by Daylight die than put me on the balance team. Yeah. So they spent how many months wasting content? I mean, they wasted a lot of fucking time, bro. Yeah, so going back to it, they didn't change or put basically anything through. We've wasted 2 PTBs worth of time. We pushed the DLC all the way back to January, which is crazy. Like, how does that even affect like the next cycle? I don't even understand. Like, we're only gonna have 3 new killers in 2025. That's crazy. That's crazy. But and like the community should be so livid over the amount of time they just wasted. They should be so ashamed, right? But instead, I guarantee like the community is just going to be glazing them for this, that they listened again. We never get anywhere because of that shit.
Hey guys, Scott.
So is that basically what this is about? Scott's just saying that nothing ever changes, right? If you go back to the first PTB, the one that had base kit pop in it and like whatever, and all of these quality of life changes, Scott and I both said back then that we wished that the changes would just fucking go through and just get it over with, right? Instead of this like death by 1,000 cuts garbage design they're doing where they put 1 peanut from the turd in each time. Yeah, no, it's just so boring, man. Like nothing's ever happening with this game. It's so incredibly boring. The devs refuse to see that they have to put a currency system in, and we just go in circles for all of eternity and nothing ever happens. Except eventually they you know, they put in something sneakily like pallet density, and then you see how much more horrible it is. And I'm going to actually say something about pallet density. I don't think that pallet density has had the dramatic effect on the game that people think that it's had. I think that the pallet density in and of itself made a lot of people who played at the highest MMR level go, fuck this. Like, this is actually starting to piss me off. I think they left or switched over to Survivor, and now there's less sweaty killer players, and people that didn't actually play against the absolute best started to play against the absolute best. And they immediately thought, oh my God, they added 3 new pallets and all of a sudden I can't get a hook. And it's like, no, you're just playing against better survivors now. And as more and more killer players leave the game and that trickles down, more and more people who play killer will start to see what it's actually like when you play against sweats, right? And I just got to say it. All these people that talked about how it was so fucking easy to 12 hook all of a sudden are bitching now because of a few extra pallets getting added to the game. Like, you're gonna tell me you could 12 hook every game easily, but now that a few extra pallets got added, you can't do it anymore? Bullshit, bro. You're just playing against better survivors, and that's what's happening. 100%. I'm sorry, but adding 5 pallets to the game did not fucking change the outcomes that dramatically, that all of a sudden these people who could just 12 hook every game easily without even turning their brain on suddenly can't do it anymore. No chance. Yeah, Bubba is good. Bubba and Dredge, like some killers specifically will feel it more because they have to deal with the pallets nonstop. But I'm talking about people who literally said that they could 12 hook every match easily. Or like, there's no chance, bro. There's no chance that you could go from 12 hooking every game easily to not being able to do it anymore at all, just because of a few extra pallets. And then we've gotten some inside information too. Like, we got into this inside information on Chandler Riggs, a nice update on him. Look at this leaked footage. See? They didn't show you that on the live stream, did they? Told you guys he's in the basement.